All right, everybody, we're going to settle in, get ready for class to begin. So find a comfortable seated position near the front of your mat. Maybe you're seated on your shins, maybe you're crisscross applesauce. Bring your eyes to close, your hands to rest on your upper thighs. As always, palms facing up in a position of receiving or grounded down in a position of groundedness. Let your body mirror what you hope to receive from today's practice. Everything in effort of setting an intention for today's class. Take some deep cleansing breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, taking note of how deepening that breath makes you feel. What's happening in your body, in your mind. Make everything very slow and intentional, focused in on becoming very present with what is happening right here and right now. As we practice and distracting thoughts or feelings try to pull you away from class into what comes next, your to-do list, what happened yesterday, I invite you to take a moment to rest, maybe in child's pose, down dog, mountain, and come back into breath and body, back to your intention. Deep breath in through the nose so that it fills your low belly with as much air as possible. It expands in all directions. And then take in a little bit of tension to the back of your throat as you expel that breath back out the nose. With your next inhale, I invite you to take your hands and lift them out to the sides of the room, palms facing up, and then lift them up overhead, bringing the palms together. Exhale them down to your heart, bowing your chin into your chest. Invite in an intention for today's flow. We're going to be focusing on strength and grace today. Flowing with purpose, with confidence, and also ease coming in with grace. What does it look like to embody both of these energies? But what would you like to get out of today's flow? On your next inhale, lift the hands back up overhead. Your eyes remain closed, but your gaze follows. And then go ahead and take the hands out to each side, balling your hands into little fists, opening the chest, arms at 90 degrees. Slowly draw those elbows down to your sides, and then lift them out to the sides of the room, opening the palms. We're going to flow side to side, taking that left hand down to the mat, reaching the right fingertips up and over, and then we're going to flow to the other side. Everything is slow and intentional, but again, pulling in that little bit of grace, keeping your sit bones grounded to the mat. We're not rocking back and forth on our bottoms. We're allowing this to happen from the arms, from the core. Breathe into the side body. Keep the heart open, the shoulders away from the ears. And we're going to land on this last side and stay here for a beat. Reaching the fingertips to the side of the room, opening the chest by peeling that shoulder open. Your gaze comes up towards those fingertips or grounds down at the hands below, whatever feels better, more comfortable for your neck. Reach and elongate through the side body, and then we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Make your way there slowly with intention. Peel that chest open, the shoulder open. Reach through those fingertips to create length through the side body. Gaze is up towards those upper fingertips or down to the mat. Slowly come up off of it. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky, briefly touch, and then exhale into a twist. Look over your back shoulder. Every exhale is an opportunity to come a little bit deeper. And then inhale back to center and over to the other side. Breathe into your spine. Nice upright posture, lifting through the crown of the head. Everything is confident, strong, and yet at ease, graceful. Embody this energy. Inhale, lift back to center, and then roll the wrists down to the mat. We're going to roll up over the knees, coming into an all fours position. Find a little bit of movement here as your hands ground beneath your shoulders, your knees beneath your hips. Maybe you take a few rounds of cat-cow. Maybe you simply want to slink into the hips, into the shoulders, want to roll the neck, whatever feels comfortable and good for you today. What does your body need? Freedom of expression. And then find stillness. Take your fingertips, spread them wide, your toes dig down into the mat. Pull your belly button up into your spine. Lift your heart out in front of you. And then lift the knees up off the mat and press your heart towards your upper thighs as you begin to pedal out the feet here in downward facing dog. Releasing one knee into a deep bend as the opposite heel descends towards the mat. A nice big stretch through the back of the legs, through the calf. Maybe you even feel it into the IT band if you move into a little bit of a twist. What feels good? What does your body need? When you're ready, find stillness. One long line from the top of your head to the base of your tailbone, reaching your heart towards your upper thighs as you allow your heels to drop down towards the mat with gravity. It's not about forcing them flat, it's just letting them drop. Strong hands, inner elbows rotated in towards one another. Strong and graceful. Come up onto the tiptoes now, bending deeply through the knees. And as you exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, feet together into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart reaches out in front of you. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep. Use your core to rise. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Press your hands out in front of you, separate the shoulder blades, and then open the hands up. Lift the heart. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, we lift, briefly touching the fingertips. Exhale, fold. Hands come down to meet the mat. Hop or step back into a plank and release the knees, the shins. Aligning the heart forward, one line from the top of your head to the base of your knees, gaze forward. As you exhale, elbows tight to the body. Bringing the chest down before inhaling and peeling the heart up off the mat. Baby cobra, barely any weight in the hands. Exhale, fold. Press your weight back, your toes down, and find downward facing dog once more. Make any adjustments you need to make. Once again, come up onto the tiptoes, bend the knees deeply, and hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep with intention all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, press the hands forward, separate the shoulders. And exhale, open all the way up, heart lifts. Breathe here for a moment. Hands down, head up, mountain. Inhale, lift the hands up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Hands meet the mat. Hop or step back into plank. You can modify as you need to. Lift your heart out in front of you no matter where you are. And exhale, keep the elbows tight to the body as you descend down. Flip onto the tops of the feet. Lift the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, flip the toes and the tailbone back. Downward facing dog. Come up onto the tiptoes. Bend the knees. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, leading with your heart all the way up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, press your hands away from the body, separate the shoulder blades, and then open up. Breathe here for a moment, opening through your heart. Stay strong in your glutes, in your core. And then hands come down to mountain. We're going to take that left hand up towards the sky, and keeping the right hand skimming the body, we're going to slowly bend towards the side of the room, keeping the shoulder open. Slowly working in a little depth. And then go ahead and come back up and switch sides, lifting and slowly reaching. Strong through the core, breathing into the side body. Slowly come up, hands down to mountain. Inhale, we lift the hands, briefly touch the fingers. Exhale, swan dive down. Hands come down to frame the feet, step or hop back to plank. Exhale down through a vinyasa. Moving into upward facing dog. And ending in down dog. Inhale, left toe reaches up towards the sky, single leg dog. And exhale, step it through between the hands, low lunge. Knee aligns right over that second or third toe, pressing actively through that back heel. Stay here. And then, after you found your footing, rise to high lunge. Strength and grace. We're going to go ahead and take the hands down to prayer now. Again, finding strength and grace in this position, active through the back leg, sinking down in that front leg, trying to get as close to 90 as we can. We're going to find a little twist here, taking the elbow to the outside of that knee. Breathe. If you ever need to modify, you can release down into a modified lunge. We're going to take that twist back to center. Lift the hands up. And exhale into warrior two. Again, that heel is always going to intersect the middle of the arch of the back foot. Our torso is fully rotated towards the side of the room. Our gaze is over the front fingers. Strong through that front leg. You should feel activation through your quad, openness in your inner thighs on the back leg. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, lift. Gaze follows the hands. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink down. We're going to take that back hand and find a reach through the side of that body, creating one long line from the base of that outer edge of the foot to the top of the fingers. Inhale, spiral back into warrior two. Pivot on the back toe to reach the fingertips up, high lunge. And then exhale, the hands down to frame the foot and step back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. We have to repeat on the other side. Inhale as the right toe reaches up towards the sky, single leg dog. And exhale, pull it through between the hands. Low lunge. Find good alignment here. Again, if you need to modify, always feel free to drop that shin down and focus on alignment instead. If you're in the full iteration of the pose, knee over that second or third toe, strong through the back heel, active legs. When you have your footing, inhale to reach into a high lunge. There can be a little bit of a bend in that back leg if that feels good. Trying to find close to 90. Energy up through those fingertips. We're going to take this into a twist, so hands come down to prayer. Take your time. Be slow. We're going to hook that elbow right on the outside of that knee as we twist and revolve the heart towards the side of the room. Breathe. Bring your focus into your breath, into the strength you are experiencing through that little shake. Never be afraid to modify. Inhale, we revolve back to center, reaching the fingertips up, and exhale, find yourself in warrior two. Take your time getting there. Again, heel intersects the arch of that back foot. Torso fully revolved, gaze is forward. Inhale, we come up, gaze follows. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale up. Exhale, sink down. We're going to take that hand, revolve it to the side of the room, one line from the fingertips down to the base, the knife edge of that foot. Breathe. Energy through your fingertips. Inhale, warrior two. Pivot on the back toe. We're going to revolve back up, high lunge, and exhale, the hands down to frame the foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Release your shins down. Maybe take the knees wide, the big toes together. Rest in child's pose. Keep your breath moving down deep into your low belly. Maybe you rock your forehead back and forth. Do you feel that activation in your legs, your quads, your outer hips, the work they just did? Be present with that sensation, as uncomfortable as it is. Slow strength, grace. Slowly walk your hands back towards your torso. We're going to pivot onto one side and come all the way down onto our backs. Once you're there, go ahead and take that right ankle, cross it right below the left knee. We're going to lift legs, reaching through to the top of the shin. Stretch out the side of those glutes, hip flexors. Trying to keep that knee opening out to the side as we relax in. Set the left foot down now. And take the right foot, raising it into the air. We're going to take our hands laced together right on the back of that thigh. Soft knee, everything's very gentle. If you'd like to extend the left leg out to increase the intensity of the stretch, please do. Play around with what works for you. Bend through the right knee. If you haven't extended your left leg, do so now. And we're going to pull that knee in towards the same side armpit. Breathe. Relax. From here, we're going to go ahead and revolve that knee down a little bit to take the heel to the outside edge as we lift the torso up and take the left forearm down into the mat. We're going to reach the fingertips up, pressing the hips towards the side of the room in order to stretch the quadricep, the front of that hip flexor. So we're reaching the fingertips up, pressing the hips to the side of the room, pressing down into that forearm. You should feel a deep stretch in the front of your thigh. Breathe. And then go ahead and release by extending that leg out, allowing your back to come all the way back down, and then pulling your feet in. We've got to do this on the same or other side now. So the left ankle crosses right below that left knee. Pulling the legs in towards the body, interlacing the hands on the top of that shin, keeping the left knee floating out and down. There's a bit of tension and a bit of ease involved in each of these stretches. Strength and grace. We need all of it in order to grow, improve, succeed. The discomfort should never be the full journey, but neither should the rest. We need both. Release the right foot down Go ahead and reach that left leg up towards the sky, and you're lacing the hands on the back of the thigh. If you'd like to extend the right leg all the way out to intensify the stretch, please do. Or just gently pulling that leg towards the body. Should feel a little tension through the back of the left leg, the hamstring. If there's a shake, that's okay. That's normal. Part of the process. Then go ahead and bend at that left knee. If your right leg's not extended, please do so now, and we're going to pull the left knee into the left armpit. Working into the hips. And we're going to move this into the quadricep now. So we're going to take that left heel and pull it up as we bring the torso up, the right forearm down. You can make any adjustments that you need to. The top of the foot is going to give some leverage so that we can feel this in the quadricep, the front of that thigh, reaching through the fingertips at the same time. Press your hips forward and breathe. Go ahead and take the top of the arm down. We're going to roll that leg back out in front of us. Bring the torso fully down. Drag both feet in towards the glutes so that the knees are up. And before we move into final Shavasana, I want you to windshield wiper those legs back and forth. Focus on releasing any remaining bits of tension. Breathe deeply into your pelvic floor. Release the hips with breath, the glutes, the low back, the spine. Take whatever last stretch feels like it's calling out to you right now. What feels good? What do you need? Follow that instinct. And when you're ready, release your heels to the wide edges of your mat. Allow your hands to roll down your sides, palms facing up towards the sky, reaching your shoulders down so that they're not crowding your ears. And settle into final Shavasana. We call this corpse pose for a reason. You letting go. You just are in these moments. Breathe deeply. And as you exhale, release every muscle from the top of your head to your smallest toe. Take one last deep inhale in through your nose. As deep as you can go. And when you're ready, release that breath from the body. You can begin to bring life back into your limbs, a little wiggle in your fingers, your toes, maybe a big stretch in opposite directions. And you know the drill. When you are ready, make your way onto your side, dragging your knees in towards your chest like you are in the fetal position, and use your top facing hand to press your torso up. Thank you all for joining me today. We get some restful flows, and today we got to work our legs a little bit more than what we normally do. As always, there's room for suggestions, so if you ever have a specific thing you'd like to work on, feel free to float that feedback my way. Otherwise, I appreciate the investment in strength and in grace, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Namaste.